me?
There we go. I'm trying to find the right button.
Oh, dude, I couldn't hear the music. I was just uncertain about the whole damn thing. I was just ready to cancel.
Oh, you couldn't hear music? You couldn't hear the waiting music?
Nothing, no. I just pretended.
Could the people hear the waiting music?
I assume so because this happens every time. So that's okay.
If
I don't hear it, that's okay. If I don't hear it, the good people hear it. Hello, all of you lovely wonders of the world. Welcome to another premiere Stuck at Night return / Stuck in the Middle right here on Progressive Patriot. And, well, by God, I don't know how else to say it. Josh, it's good to see you, my friend. By God.
It's good to see you, too. You just put me in the zone because I'm like, well, if you can't hear the music, then when we play all the videos today, are you going to be able to hear all the videos?
Typically, for whatever reason, it's just the music.
What the F is that about? Do you hear this music right now? Do you hear the intro music? That's a no.
Dude, it sounds like somebody faintly slapping some bear drums with the palm of their hands a mile away. That's
good then. That we're off to a good start then. Fantastic. We don't do shows as often as we used to, and now that we are doing them, every time we do them again, it's like doing it for the first time every time. That's fantastic.
Dude, how many people on this world get to feel like a virgin that many times, huh? And I'll toast to that. Thank you very much.
There you go. What do you got there? What are you drinking?
I got only the good stuff here. I know what you're thinking. Liquor specialist fella must have some Moet Chandon, Vovu Clou, or clitoris.
What'd you just call me, dude? What the hell did you just call me?
You heard me.
I didn't.
You heard me.
I think you called me poo-poo or something like that, dude.
I called you poo-poo, cuckoo, and vlu cuckoo. That's champagne, okay? It's champagne talk. I'm too fancy for you. Don't try and keep up. So I got me some Welch's Sparkling, all right?
Oh.
They're sponsoring the show today.
How many times distilled is that?
Oh, just the one time,
just the one time. That's all you need. That's all you need is one time. Wow. Well, I mean, I feel underwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie. It's always getting the wheels greased again, if you will. Trying to get going again is always just a bitch. But we're not here to bitch about that because what fun would that be, right?
No,
am I right?
You are absolutely right, and I'm just grateful because I've become a fanboy of our old show, which is a bizarre thing. I found myself watching other podcasts that I feel mimics having a show with you. I don't know if a lot of you watch other podcasts. I watch Bad Friends. To me, I'm like Bobby Lee, and he's like Santino, which figures, Whitey over here, and I'm the Asian.
I'm offended.
Sorry?
I'm offended?
Seems
like your audio is just off in general. You really had to do what? I'm sorry? You couldn't, you did the old guy, turn your volume up, Eli. Your volume's low.
Get off my yard.
Huh?
Well, all right. Let me say hello to some of the good people. Ali, D. Libby, Shamrock, who keeps on finding gems of material. Base Girl, fantastic to see you. If I said D. Libby twice, that's okay. I'll say it again. And if I missed you, no apologies because we don't apologize here. So what's the first thing we got digging? Or how about this? I understand you moved for the third time.
In the process of, which the good thing about all this is when I do move, everything should look the same. But yeah, fuck this landlord. But what I really wanted to share real quick is, and I got to make sure she can't hear me because we've been going through some shit with the 18-year-old.
Oh, okay? God.
And she's, she's illegal. So we can't do anything about it, right? So the past week, she's like, I want to move out. I'm fucking gone. I want to move out. I have this friend, and she's going to support me, and she's really, cool. She's awesome. I'm going to move to Orlando. We're like, it's like fucking an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And all of a sudden I'm going to pay for my own phone and, they're going to support me. And I just hold up. Something you're getting all this information and there's a few pieces that because you don't have yet, things aren't adding up. It's very confusing. This was all of a sudden out of nowhere. So then Kimmy comes to me And she goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot." She brought up that she was interested in a sugar daddy site.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, indeed. And you're just like, oh my God. So what's going on here is she's lying about it being a friend that's a girl, right? This is obviously a male. Now we're just our minds are racing. Like, how old? How the fuck old? And like for me, I'm like, well, if it's a sugar daddy website, they're not gonna let an 18-year-old on there, meaning male. Like there has to be a little bit like I was thinking at least 35 or and older. I don't know really how that goes. I haven't been on there yet. Um, so our minds are just racing, and Kimmy's able to access her phone and see like who she's talking to, who she's talking to. So she actually, hey, I'm out Monday. I'm leaving Monday. We're like, oh, okay, sure. Is all very confusing and like, what can we do because she's 18? You know what I mean? So we're approaching the situation very, very carefully. But behind the scenes, we're like fucking we're MacGyver. We're like fucking Sherlock Holmes. Like we're trying to put the fucking pieces together. Like what the fuck is going on here? Because all this is out like, and she's not eating, right? She's isolating. She stopped talking to her sisters. She's just shutting out completely. We're like, where the fuck is she going? What the hell is going on here? Right? So the sugar daddy website thing was brought up. We feel like we're getting closer to the truth. Kimmy's able to access the phone. We see, some repeating phone numbers, but one phone number in particular that's repeating. So our what we decided to do was Monday, she was gonna leave after work on Monday, to the point of she was like, "Hey, can you bring my bags to work?"
Okay, wait. So she has, just for the record,
Yes.
I haven't seen her since you guys lived around here. She has been holding down a job. And for the record, for those of you that don't know, that have not seen Stuck in the Middle, we're referring to Josh's pretty much like stepdaughter here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
It's better when
she's been
you say
working.
that because how I'm talking out loud right now, she's like right over there. So, you said that and she can't know, exactly what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
talking
No,
about. So it
we're
works out.
covering the bases, and now I'm very invested. And I just a quick caveat,
Yes.
dude. It's amazing that we're seeing on two different spectrums how the oversaturation of the internet trying to connect everybody makes us disconnect. Your example is an 18-year-old child, and mine is a 78-year-old mother who believes she's talking to celebrities and isolating on Instagram. So with
Yeah.
that, please continue to tell me what the conclusion is.
Well, you have to remember that in her age bracket, like everyone is just an influencer. I just like, like I
You're
don't want to
right.
be a musician. I don't want to be an actor. I want to be an influencer. So I just want to be famous. And
It's
that like,
grotesque.
there's no like, well, why are you famous? But because there's many examples of people who shouldn't be famous that are famous. So they're just like, I want to be one of them. So
Yep.
there's a lot that goes into play here because she didn't have a father who was there all the time. So there's the attention seeking mixed with I need money and I want money now. And that never works out. Never, ever, ever works out. So those two things come together. Boom. You have a Titan implosion right down by the Titanic where 5 people die. That's what happens when an 18-year-old uh, wants money
There's
and
a very
attention.
specific correlation.
Yeah, I don't know why I said that, but it felt good in the moment, so I'm gonna go with it.
Uh,
um,
dude, I'm
Questions?
terrified in general
We,
right now with this is just one example out of I don't know how many. So please do carry
because
on.
you feel very hopeless because it's like playing chess at this point because you have to make the right move because if you go too overbearing, you know how it goes.
Push them
If you
away.
exactly if you say don't do something, they're gonna do it. And another thing people were trying to get me to do was like, well, tell her, you had a friend that this happened to, and just explain to her what could happen. And what I kept coming back to was like, what you're not understanding is she can't even see in the future. So why would me or somebody else telling her what could happen resonate when it doesn't even resonate by herself? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Because she's not thinking what could happen. She's just thinking, oh, he's like, there's this person out there saying money now, attention now.
she's only thinking in the moment. There's
Yeah,
no foresight. There's no hindsight.
exactly. So we started to figure out, well, if this is a boy, right? Not once has she ever hid it from anybody. If she has a boyfriend, she tells people. Hell, she just recently had a boyfriend. She's just recently going through like the pinnacle teenage breakup where so she's on the rebound of that, right? So that really compels her to do more crazy stuff.
Oh
Um
God,
I
you
know
scared
it
me
it
because I knew this child.
yeah, you still do. You
I
still
shit.
do. So fuck, where was I? Bring me
Okay.
back.
Okay. Well, you're afraid to push her away, and she's at the pinnacle of recovering from a breakup and
Right,
in a
exactly.
rebound state.
So it's chess. We're trying to play it the right way. So the whole time she's under the impression that she's going to be leaving Monday after work. So at Sunday night, she tried to, hey, let's go confront her. And I'm like, I'm already high as shit. It's 10 o'clock at night. All my piss and vinegar is gone. I'm like, nah, like, no. So, like, but Kimmy wanted to wait till Monday regardless. So I was like, okay, whatever. We'll do Monday. So it's like Monday when I'm off work, but going to the gym. Like, right in that moment, I'm like, let's fucking go. Right. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, now or never. So what I decided to do was so we have all this information. Like, okay, why are you hiding this boyfriend if this is a boyfriend? So we're thinking, well, obviously she's hiding him because it's an old guy or something like that. Like, why else would she be hiding him? She's isolating all this stuff.
Oh
So
my God. Okay, just tell me I'm wrong right now. It's not anybody you fucking know.
no, nobody we know.
Oh
Yeah.
God. Okay.
Which is kind of even scarier. I would love to see like you pull up or something like, hey, what's up, dude? Just me.
Okay.
Like, oh, thank God. Woo. Hey,
You know who I
what
was
the
thinking
fuck's
right
going on with our
quick?
stream?
With
Is
no disrespect, I was thinking Adam or something.
no. No. Okay, so let me see. Is everybody's stream going okay? Because
Dude,
if
everybody's doing fantastic. Everybody's
okay, because
present. What's up, C-Files, Indy, Bree? It's great to see you. Yes. Hello. And Slim. Go ahead.
VMix is doing kind of stupid stuff right now. It's going yellow, red. So okay, but so with all that information we had, Kimmy was able to find that phone number she was calling all in all. So I get the phone number. We figured out it's an Atlanta phone number, and it's
ATL.
678. It's registered to two different names. So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna call the number. I go in the garage, and the first thing I do is I call the number, and I'm waiting for them to say something. So I call the number, but it's a standoff. They're not saying anything, so I'm not saying anything. So like after 20 seconds, I'm like, I start making like noises, and then the phone hangs up. So I'm okay. I wait a second.
Pause, Josh. I'm
Yes.
sorry. We've actually gotten from the chat that you were right. There is some buffering.
It seems like we're good now. Like I haven't
Okay.
had any issue right now, but it seems like we're good now. Please, people, let me know if that's the case. Let
Yeah,
Eli know if that's the case.
keep us posted, friends. Okay. Thank you. All right. Do continue, please.
Okay, so I call the number for the second, and if anybody needs any questions, just put it in the chat. If I didn't clarify anything, and Eli will ask, and I will answer. So I call it the second time, and this time I'm like, I read off the two names. I'm like, hello, is Jason there? No, you have the wrong number. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Is this Randall? I'm like, no, you have the wrong number. And he hangs up. Okay, I said, this time out of just a fuckedness, I called again. And I said, hey, I said, this is, and I said Kimmy's daughter's name. He's like, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm like, no. You're sending an Uber for me after work. This is Kimmy's daughter's name. He's like, I don't know who you're talking about. And he hangs up the phone real quick. Boom. So at that point, I walk back in the house and he is texting her, like, why are your parents, he's just whatever. Like there was a communication, like, wait, what's going on? So I was like, fuck it. Now's the time. And we all sit down like Athena, because we just had one of these conversations. Said her name. Well, she's 18. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
so we previously had one of these conversations about chores. And we had to sit her down and like, listen, this is what is expected of you. Blah, 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 blah. If you don't do it, this happens, blah, 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 this happens. And you're not in trouble. We're just letting you know that from here on out, like there's consequences, there's boundaries, we got to set boundaries. And that talk went over great. Haven't had a problem since. So we have a similar talk. I'm like, listen, you've been wanting to be treated like an adult. Now is the time to act like an adult. Is there something you'd like to tell us? And it's just like that moment, like, what? What do you mean? Like, is there something you'd like to tell us? Now's the time to be honest, because that's what adults do. And there was no hesitation, and there was hesitation, and it just was like, we know that this person you've been talking to isn't your friend from high school, as you said. We know this is a man, and it kept going a little bit, and I was like, this is a man from the sugar daddy website, and she's like, no, 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 no. So that, and we got confirmation that wasn't the case, but it was pretty much the case. So Orlando's known for high sex trafficking. One of my friends was kidnapped for like 5 days. She barely made it out. She saw one of the dudes with her keys, ganked her keys, and like ran out for what I don't know the full story, but she was gone, missing, reported missing. And
I remember that story.
Yes.
You've told me that before. Yes.
So this is where she was moving to. So apparently, we finally get some information out. We get the guy's name. He's only 20, but this is all what she understands, right? Not what she knows. Oh, he's only 20. She gives us the name. The name doesn't correspond to any of the phone numbers there. So we get deeper and deeper into it. And she's like, oh, he said he was going to support me. He was going to give me like $4,000. He was going to, pay for my phone. He was going to, we were going to do OnlyFans.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yup. It was going to start out like, let's take some pictures. And then it was going to turn to, why don't you? And then it was going to turn to, hey, my friend over here. And it was going to turn into, it was just going to keep going. It was just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. 100%.
So hypothetically speaking, had that Uber arrived without you and or Kimmy getting involved, that would have been taking her right to the predator?
I don't know. Maybe it was him picking her up, because fast forward a little bit without going forward, allegedly she feels like she saw him at her job yesterday, walking around eyeballing her. I don't know. She told her supervisor, but like she could be kind of freaking out, because after we really confronted her, she had like, dude, she had a 180. She was talking like something was telling her deep down inside, this is weird. But her mind wasn't clicking with her body, because like I said, she wasn't eating. When she did eat, she threw up. All of her normal habits were thrown off. This guy was making her isolate.
He was grooming her.
He wanted to make her disappear, because exactly. And like, it was just like, Kimmy just felt like, I can't do anything because she's 18. I'm like, what the fuck else can you do? Just do it. Just like, and if she leaves, she was going to leave anyways. And we did it. And it just like, I said, I told my dad, I said, you got to help. Like, let's treat this like an intervention. I got everybody involved. And we just kind of all got together and just were like, what, in a loving way, just like, what, you got to be careful. You don't understand what's going on. And she, apparently he told her he was a music producer.
Oh God. All the red flags.
But this is the crazy shit. I was like, well, what songs did he tell you he produced? He's like, well, this song. I was like, pull it up on your phone. Wikipedia will tell you what the producer was. She pulled it up. He's like, it's not him. I'm like, I wouldn't, like, and that's the craziness, is like, why wouldn't you even think to do that? If somebody told me that, oh, I did this and this for this person who's well known, I'm like, after our conversation, I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome. I'll pump you up. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck did this motherfucker do? Like, almost in like a jealous way, like, fuck you, bitch. Let me see if you really did that. I hope you didn't. And I find out, no, he didn't, So just like my instincts would always tell me to look into that shit. And our big group thing, it worked. We told her, listen, you're not going. And over time, they started watching sex trafficking victim videos. She's freaked out. She's like, oh my God, I could have, she hopefully understands the seriousness of what could have happened, because this guy was it was like the typical, transatlantic 1930s. Come on, girl, you want to make it? You want to be a star? Come on, this way.
Be making the pictures, see?
Yeah, come on, make the pictures, all the pictures, hey? And like, the shitty part about this is she's 18. Imagine if she had fought, and it's just like, well, we can't keep her hostage, but like, I'll be damned if I just sit down and pretend I can't do anything. Because like, I got to thinking, I was like, I'm 35 years old. If I was doing drugs in secret, right? If I'm doing drugs in secret and I'm fucking blah, 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 I'm always in my room, people around me start to get wise to it, they're gonna do the same exact fucking thing. They know they can't hold me there, but if they love you, they're gonna all come together and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And it's if I'm like, "Oh, get out of here, fuck you," and I start to run away, whatever. We tried, but you'd have to sit there and live with the fact that you did jack shit and just let this person go somewhere without like stepping in and be like, "No, no, 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 no. I need to let," and like, dude, I got so pissed, like like when, because like as I was telling you, I was like, there's these things that like when she says this, oh my God, now the puzzle's put together. And she's like, no, no, but he said he was gonna help me promote, OnlyFans. I'm like, there it
God.
fucking is. There, I was like, do you want to be a prostitute? Are you? And she's like, no. I'm like, well, that's what that is. You are selling your body for money. That's called prostitution. And I was like, I call him up and tell him to come pick you up, because as soon as he gets here, he's going to be pissing out of his ass and shitting out of his dick hole. I promise you, I'm going to end this guy. And just, what? And my dad's like, stop that. You're going to put it. I was just like, no, 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 fuck that. Like at this point, like, I don't think that type of like, that's like on your side aggression. Like this guy's trying to harm you. Fuck you. I don't think she's ever, had that, because like I said, bad dad, the guy, whatever. I don't want to call him that, but
No. Well,
that's what
it's what it is, and you filled a very necessary space, and I'm glad it wasn't a space. Kudos to both you and Kimmy for handling it as you did. And now, twofold, there's things that I want to say regarding this. Is, for one, to anybody watching currently that is I don't know, a little bit higher up there in the age bracket, you have your own kids. I am no parent and I cannot tell you how to be a better one, but I can tell you I've seen the ins and outs of the internet, as many of us have, and some of us, like I reference my mother here, she doesn't know what it's about. She's very naive, just like Josh's stepdaughter. And what I'm dealing with, I don't know if this is some form of dementia or a delusional cognitive dissonance. She has been spending 12 hours a day, every day, talking to people that she's convinced are celebrities: Keanu Reeves, Elon Musk, Prince Harry, Jason Momoa. And I've watched them, play the game and start saying, we're just going to send you a form and then you can win $20,000 and it costs $1,000. And it's crazy how it's just the generational disconnect from the youngest to the oldest. Everybody's vulnerable. So just,
that happened to someone close to me as well, right? They got for almost 6 figures.
No kidding.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I told you about this back when I lived in South Florida, but someone very close to me found a relationship online and started trading.
Oh yeah.
And it was a fake trading thing, and it turned out to be fucking complete bullshit, and close to 6 figures gone.
I've also run into somebody that had $60,000, which was their entire retirement, taken away because of this same crap. So just shout out to any of the individuals that take the time to shine a light on that little darkness. And like people like Pierogi, I tried to get my mother into watching scammer or channels where they get the scammers.
You heard about the Wells Fargo one, right? Like that one was really getting everybody for a minute, because it was they were spoofing the Wells Fargo phone number, and I forget exactly what they were doing, but it was something where Wells Fargo would never do it, and if you checked your email, you would see that Wells Fargo themselves didn't email you. So it was fucking sneaky. Like, dude, they were doing that with FP&L, like Florida Power and Light. Like, you would get a call, and like they're referred to as FP&L. But then these scammers are calling like, hey, this is Florida Power and Light. Just want to let you know that your bill is past due, and one of our technicians is on the way to shut off your power. But if you pay us X amount before he arrives, we'll keep it on. And they got as far as to have, like, when you called back the number, thank you for calling Florida Power and Light. Please be patient until one of our representatives comes to assist you. Press 1 if you're a business. Boom. Press 2 if you're residential. Like, got all that way. And like, but I was keen to it, so I would always fuck with them. But that, like, my point is, like, that's a job for some people. Like in India, they go to a big fucking building. They're like, all right, y'all are fucking doing Wells Fargo today. go. And like that's what they do for their 8 hours. Like, okay, buddy, how can I scam people? It's like, God damn it.
And it hits me right in the soul, man. I was watching, this has been going on. This is a little reason why, and I feel kind of guilty admitting this, but you put everything on the table. That's what the
That's what we
spirit of
do.
Stuck in the Middle / Stuck at Night is all about. Transparency, sharing our life experiences and our passions and everything that's happening in the world. Oh God, don't.
I didn't know you were transparent too, dude. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, no, I mean,
up.
in these times, these delicate times of 2023, I do believe I can identify, even though I don't have a blood child per se, I can be a transparent.
You are.
Look, I have a child now in the form
That's
of
a transparent cup.
It's a transparent fake champagne. Hence, it's not really what it is.
Dude,
see what
listen,
I did there?
if you want to identify that champagne as real champagne, go ahead, buddy. Let's not let the haters
a stretch,
hate.
Josh. No. I think it's safer to just say this is my child. Okay.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Okay.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
This is a I don't. I'm
it looks real. It looks like a good they. It looks really good, and I'm glad.
That's some good they.
I'm glad you enjoy
vintage they.
I don't know if you're supposed to drink your they, but
yeah,
it's 2023.
I was summoning my inner spirit cook. All right, so with that being said, I understand something happened in the world, Josh. I mean, things happen in the world all the time. By the way, my faith in this country, not in this country, in our government is at an all-time low.
Why is that?
And I'm exhausted being at that low, watching hearings every single day. And it's the same clowns singing the same songs, dances, and I'm sick and tired of it. And what's that? Kate Jean-Pierre, the spokesperson for the White House, the way she got to evade the question about inviting Hunter Biden.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you play that video?
I did. I played it last night.
It's fantastic.
Now, and you shared the article, and then I reported it on here. Thanks for doing all the work for me, by the way.
Yeah, no problem, bro. Glad I could help out.
How Biden withheld that the Navy found the what is it? The submarine information on a Tuesday.
Why are you throwing me that? Why are you throwing me under the bus?
Well, you're the one that shared the information publicly.
The DOJ hid the noise because they wanted to hide the Hunter Biden story.
Well, I don't really administration, they went ahead and made sure that it wasn't released until Thursday, which is the same day that the FBI whistleblowers were, and when Hunter Biden was accepting his plea deal. So strong arm of the swamp, the deep state doing what they do.
I'm gonna be the asshole and be like, this is probably a little more coinkydink, just because. Yes, the Navy did hear what sounded like or what could be an implosion, but that's one of those things where they're like, we're not certain. This is what we heard. We know it's in that area, but go ahead and look, kind of, you know what I mean? Because it could be, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being willfully ignorant on this one, but what really soured me is they're like, do you know also the Titanic was brought down because they wanted to kill the billionaires and the Rothschilds, which is true. I guess the Rothschilds never boarded the Titanic. At the last minute, they all got off, and all like some of the rich people who were against the Federal Reserve, they all went down the Titanic, which is true, I think. But they're like, a bomb blew it up. And it's like, what? Wait, what? No, it's an iceberg. No. They were blown up. Icebergs don't melt steel beams, man. What?
Remember, we actually had that debate, and it went on for ages.
No,
when we had our 9/11 episode. Anyway, so I was trying to point to the world aside from Bidening. What is going on, if I may, regarding some of the things that we're ensuring we discuss.
Well, what do you feel like going? Oh, I just cut you off. You were literally giving yourself like a nice little build up to where you were going to go. And I was like, no, where do you want to go? My apologies, sir.
It's okay. I'm
new to all this. I'm new to all this, so I don't know how this
I know.
goes.
Look, we're getting the dust off. The cobwebs they're dropping now, and it's okay. No, in all seriousness, for one, somebody at my job, my mystical job, shared with me what the Supreme Court did. And then you told me, and I knew it was going to have to be a part of the show. Oh, okay, now I was also told that Kamala Harris and the usual powers that be, I'm curious to see which ones actually fill out, being the ones I suspect are raging against the ruling, which is what? That affirmative action is not going to be taken as seriously. That's not the headline I want to give it. I want to give it the headline that they're actually looking at the contents of your character and the progress of your education and your scholastic efforts.
Racist. Eli's racist. He wants merit-based systems in America. Racist. Racist. Everybody.
If you didn't know that by now, I'm
God,
here
my
to
chair is
educate you,
broken.
sir. And wait, and there was one more thing. What was it? A bunch of, can I say this? A bunch of Asians.
Oh, whoa! I thought you were gonna go deeper, but no, it's fine. Bunch of billionaires. Hey, get it?
Oh yeah, well, that comes after their immense scholastic efforts. They sued Harvard, and then at some point, fast forward, Supreme Court is like,
I believe Eli, I believe you're correct. Like in the docket, it says a bunch of Asians versus U.S. state. That's what it says. It says a bunch of Asians. So
I suspected as
you're
such.
legally speaking legalese. You're good.
The legalese. I did. I got my PhD in legalese, which is not what you get, but I got it anyway.
You're a doctor in legalese.
I am. Yeah. I am.
I'm a lawyer in doctorese.
Doctorese?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I
do with that what you will.
I forfeited that one. So what do you got here in front of? Oh, is that CNN?
So I mean, why not? Fuck it.
It's okay.
So at this point, like everybody's freaking out. Everybody knows the Supreme Court has made a decision on affirmative action, and they were pretty affirmative in this action, if I may.
Whoa!
Yeah. Much to the chagrin of some and much to the joy of others, the Supreme Court has decided to remove affirmative action at the collegiate level. So affirmative action cannot be in any more sporting events. Yeah. That was a bad joke. Yeah, it was a bad joke. No,
okay.
I thought I had something, but it just really fell apart. But in all seriousness, in the enrollment process on a college level, affirmative action is gone, and I really don't know how to feel. I'm not like woo, and I'm not like
I think
boo.
I do.
Okay. Can you give me an emoji of how you feel right now?
Smiley face with the little sweat drop. No, screw the sweat drop. I want a shiny bald head and a big old smile because look, okay, look, people like our boy that covered his name up perfectly. Our super liberal friends that look at things through the purview of everything is about race, and if you don't believe it, you're ignorant. Then I know the outrage to expect, but I do believe for colleges to just look at the actual intelligence and work instead of any other factor is nothing but the right thing to do. Okay, that simply put, that's all. I know that there's going to be people ready to argue, but look, you have to look at this factor and the poverty and this, that, or the other. None of that changes some simple facts that I know someone is waiting to tell me is all about privilege, but a hardworking student is a hardworking student, and to be acknowledged as just that for no other reason, I think is a step in the right direction.
So CNN says specifically the Supreme Court says colleges and universities can no longer take race into consideration as a specific basis for granting admission, a landmark decision overturning a long-standing precedent that has benefited Black and Latino students in higher education. We'll come to a stat in that in a second. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the opinion for the conservative majority, saying Harvard and University of North Carolina admissions programs violated the Equal Protection Clause because they failed to offer measurable objectives to justify the use of race. And I think that's what you're talking about. That may have been up against the lawsuit. What's interesting, though, and this is just what the facts are, the ruling says the U.S. military service can still take affirmative action. Affirmative action can still continue to take race into consideration as a factor in admission. So it applies to the public, but it doesn't apply to the military. Still, that's kind of weird.
Okay, all right,
it doesn't cross the board.
I may ask you to rewind here.
Yes.
during the admissions phase, they have to still look through the scope of affirmative action, thus limiting the application.
Are you talking about the military or regular public colleges?
Colleges, that's what they did away with
Colleges are
entirely.
they are taking away
That part.
the mandate of affirmative action.
Okay, but the military though,
Is
why? I mean,
keeping it.
why wouldn't we want the best of the best for the military? What? I didn't even know that that was a part of the military process. Shows you how ignorant I am. I honestly thought the best man would get the or woman would get the best damn job because it's our American military.
And
I'm
like
crazy, apparently.
what's like really politics is just becoming I guess it's always been this, but for instance, reactions. Like, look at the first sentence in the reactions. GOP officials celebrated the decision as Democrats blasted the court. God, it's like what's the Bill Murray? It's a Groundhog's Day. Yes, we know they're gonna get mad. We know they're gonna be happy. So Kevin McCarthy's all like, yeah, the just the rule that no American should be denied educational opportunities because of race. Meanwhile, Senate Majority Chuck Schumer called the ruling a giant roadblock in our country's march towards racial justice.
See, I was wondering why. I think it was earlier in the afternoon. I was listening to Biden give some attempt at a heartfelt speech that somebody else wrote about diversity, and I understand now that this is why he was talking all that jazz there.
Oh, right, yeah. He had an agenda.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. I think we have. I'd really like to believe that we have truly evolved in this level because everything else about our country is spelling regression, walking backwards instead of forwards. Don't get me started. There's a lot of the things I brought to the table on the channel here is American factories are now they're Chinese factories funded by Chinese billionaires, and we're dropping the ball everywhere. At least here's one W, and all the characters that you would suspect, like it's scripted, are acting accordingly. So no surprises.
Yeah,
But I'm
and
glad the action is done.
and I'm still going to be 100% honest with you. I still don't know how to feel on it because, will this I still don't know how to feel on it, right? So, but what I do know or what I do look at is like some hypocrisy here and like some of these things, like for instance, this one Erica Marsh says. She says today's Supreme Court decision is a direct attack on black people. No black person will be able to succeed in a merit-based system, which
What
is
a
exactly
huge
why affirmative action based programs were needed. Today's decision is a travesty. I don't know. Reading it just like that with no context, you're like, oh, well, you don't think black people are worth a damn or they can't try hard, right?
intelligent.
Right. And
Yes.
is she talking about it's almost like there was a time or maybe still is. And I don't know why I'm trying to tiptoe around. I'm just trying to make it make sense, I guess. But there was a time in American history where racism was an overwhelming problem. And it was hard, even if you were a good person based on merit, to do good in a racist system. So merit had nothing to do. It was the opposite of affirmative action. It was like, oh, if you're not this, you can't get in. Right? So merit in those days didn't mean shit. So I could almost see her not almost, but if I were to play both sides of this, I understand maybe if that's what she's trying to convey. But what I would say to her is like, well, I understand what you're saying. And that was during a time when, yes, America could have been doing a lot better. But you fast forward to now, and I don't believe that black people will fail in a merit-based system in 2023. Back when shit was different in America, yes, because America had an issue with race.
In this department, Josh, and I'll be very, very terse regarding what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna pussyfoot on this one. The modern day liberal using these talking points does not want to admit to any progress when it comes to racism because they lose a huge virtue signaling campaign speech. They lose their think tanks that try to appeal and pander. And I hope, because every Black American I spoke to at my job, every Haitian American had no issue with this. But look at the characters as usual. Is that's the woman that said that, by the way?
Yeah.
Am I
Yep.
looking at her?
Yep.
Oh, a white chick speaking for the Black American. She looks like she could be the spokesperson for BLM, as far as I'm concerned.
She's a
She knows, like,
spokesperson. She's a
you know what?
spokesperson for a BBC Brazzers
You beat
documentary.
me to it. You beat me to it. Based on how many BBCs she may have received, good poem.
I like it.
I might, take some of that to heart, but no. We're gonna strip away this pandering, virtue signaling talking point, and finally be able to say freely without worrying about backlash or being canceled. Yes, guess what? No matter how much it hurts your feelings, which is weird, we have made progress in terms of racism. Accept it. And now we're getting things jumbled up, though, with the T and the LGBTQIA SpongeBob SquarePants coconut thing. But anyway, I digress.
Here's Harvard's admission rates based on race. Asians 12.7%, whites 15.3%, Hispanics 31.3%, blacks 56.1%.
Holy shit.
But one of the arguments towards this is they want to make sure that the demographic of those graduating is represented in those going to college. So I don't know, does everybody who graduates deserve to go to college? I don't think I did. I think I was a piece of shit, so I don't know what this means. I'm looking at numbers, and if you were to ask me without context, like, yeah, it looks like they are, allowing more of one race in than the other. So are they doing that off of if all those numbers match up because those are the people passing the tests, like exactly where, then I got no problem with it. But if that is
just admissions,
an attribute of what they call affirmative action, I have a question of, are these numbers fair? And I don't know what fair is. Like, I'm so confused really at all this shit going on, which is why I'm kind of glad to have had a break for a long time from politics, because at some point I see everyone's side. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but I think you guys just aren't fucking communicating with one another. You're just choosing, well, if you're on the right, I can't talk to you because I'm on the left. And we'll bring up an RFK video, which I think beautifully illustrates that point soon, coming up in the show. But I don't know, when you see those numbers, how do you feel? Like, without any context behind them?
We need more context. We need to see the stats that reflect the end result, because we're only looking at the very beginning, which is the admission phase. I'd like to see. And was this tweet from somebody with an agenda?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't look into it. It's from a guy who named Tim Runs His Mouth.
Okay.
How about this? You know what? Let's do this right now. This is kind of why I wanted to save it for this moment. Let's see. At Harvard, an Asian candidate in the 8th highest academic decile had a 5.1% chance of admittance, 7.5 for white, 22.9 for Hispanic, and 44 for black. That's from the New York Post. So,
which also I don't trust, but okay,
little conservative,
using numbers. It's
okay, how
not
about this?
As
admission statistics from Harvard. This is the class of 2026. Ethnicity. Okay, look. Native Hawaiian 0, Native American 2, Hispanic or Latino 12, Asian American 27.9, African American 15.2. This is for the graduating class of 2026.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. I don't see any American.
They usually make these things purposefully hard to get to the bottom to, and they'll say, oh, there's too much nuance, but I'm sure, give it enough time and research, we can find the answers we're looking for. What's up, Rescue? Good to see you, by the way. Glad to have you. What's up, Jay? Okay. So, I think where I stand here, all right, and I'm proud to have the conclusion I do.
Yes.
Without any sense of guilt. It's time to grow up, America. It's time to grow up, okay? There was a time for affirmative action to take some sort of precedent, okay? There was. That's the key word here. It is time to do what progressives always claim they are doing and move forward. Let loose and let away. Let fall to the wayside your little petty talking points and embrace a future. So with that, what's next on the hit list?
Well, I mean, keeping up with that theme about, progressives, maybe the right, RFK is making a big splash recently, and a lot of it negative, unfortunately, which
to the status quo.
Yeah, negative. Well, yeah, and then the people who follow the status quo are like, yeah, fuck that guy. So they're all over the place. But I guess he recently did a town hall, and he was asked a question.
But you're
in regards to the right wing, because apparently a lot of people on the right wing just love this guy. I wonder why. And then she tells him, and Donald Trump called you such a good man. What do you think of Donald Trump? It was just such this weird, like, I'm going to get you moment. I don't know how to put it. But
she was going for guilt by proxy, by association.
Let's let him put it perfectly. And have you ever heard RFK speak before?
Oh, yeah.
He has like
quite a few times.
A bad voice. That's one thing that really I'm confused on, because could you imagine presidential addresses with this guy and his voice?
Oh, I know. He's got quite a voice, dude. I know.
I will be the president of the.
But I like the contents.
Yes,
and
of his character. Yes, I think it would be pretty cool, because America would be like, yeah, fuck it. We don't care what you look like. We don't care what you sound like. Come on in. You know what I mean?
Well, let's represent, all the things that showing what it looks like to not require.
I know you think this guy sounds real dumb, but just wait till you kind of play back the shitty words he said, and you say it in your voice. You're like, wow, this guy's fucking on point. But when he's talking, he just play back the words in your head. Don't worry about in the now. Poor guy.
Try to ignore the tone.
Yeah, that's what they would say.
Words.
Yeah. Like the guy on stage who'd be like signing what he's saying would just be like, just don't even worry about it. I'll tell you after it. Let's go get some food. He'll be done. I'll sum it up for you. It'll be a lot better for all of us.
Okay, bring it on.
We're getting a lot of support from the.
Can you hear this?
Yes.
What the fuck? That's so crazy. Okay. I'm going to turn this up just an ass hair. Okay. But that also turns you up, so just be careful. Here we go. RFK.
You say that you're a Democrat, but you're getting a lot of support from a lot of leading voices on the right, like Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, former President Donald Trump. Many Democrats.
And like the way she's saying that is like, you're getting support from people we don't like. Ooh. Like how like, what is that? Why is everything so tribal? It doesn't even matter. I don't even have to answer the question, but like, what is that? Like, why is that a bad thing? Why does it have to be a bad thing?
She's nearly, I think, signaling her fellow party mates that this guy right here who's on our party ticket, he's a bad one, because the other people were indoctrinated not to like. They said nice things. To me, they like to say the term dog whistle a lot. She's sending out a signal. Yeah. He's not one of us, really.
Let's just wait till he talks. It's horrible. Okay.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, former President Donald Trump. Many Democrats fear that you're a spoiler in the race, that you will damage President Biden in the primary and grease the skids for former President Trump to return to the Oval Office. This week, former President Trump said about you, Kennedy is smart and he's a common sense guy. What kind of man do you think Donald Trump is?
Yeah, you got complimented by our enemy. So that means whatever he said, you're bullshit. It's like, what?
Yeah.
There's no logic here.
Doo-doo head.
Yeah, look at you. You poop mouth. You got poop all over your mouth. All right.
What kind of man do you think Donald Trump is?
Well, here's what I'm not going to do in this race. I'm not going to attack other people personally. I don't think it's good for our country. And I think, what I'm trying to do in this race is bring people together is to try to bridge the divide between Americans. And guess what? When my dad died and we took this train ride from, this 7.5-hour train ride that was supposed to be 2 hours. I was with him when he died in Los Angeles. And then we brought his body from New York, Penn Station to Union Station and Washington, D.C. And it was a 2.5-hour ride, but it took 7.5 hours because there were 2.5 million people on that train track. And it was the cross-section of America and all of the major urban stations in Trenton, Newark, Wilmington, and Baltimore. There were Black Americans singing Battle Hymn of the Republic. There were whites in the rural areas who are holding up signs, "Goodbye, Bobby, pray for us, Bobby," American flag, standing, saluting. 4 years later.
Listen, I just want to say that if he always sounds like that he's about to cry, then it always works. Because like it did sound like he was getting choked up about his dad, but if you missed the past minute and a half, you'd be like, oh, never mind. That's just how he sounds the whole time. Can you imagine?
Or he's just perpetually choking. But apparently also Rescue chimes in. He, at the start of the town hall, he explains like whatever the throat issue is, by the by.
Yes. No, he's been on a few of my favorite like podcasts and radio shows throughout the years. I'm well aware. What did Rescue say though? Did he say what it is? Because I don't remember what it is, but I know it's just something he kind of has. It's not
started at the age of 42, whatever it is.
Yeah, he's not sick or anything. It's not going to affect how he thinks. It's just a voice thing. It doesn't change him as a man.
He doesn't have the brain of a Biden.
And by the way, it's great to see Rescue here. It's feeling the very old school. And as I told Indy and Rescue that I owe you guys a come on the panel, and I want to do that. Ew, oh, my bad. Yeah, I said that wrong. I'm going to be on the panel. We just got to link up not link up, but just sync up those times, and I'll be there. And I think Eli should be there too. So.
We all want to be there. Yes.
Indeed. Let's keep playing a little RFK.
And they had supported my father in the primaries in 1968. 4 years later, in 1972, they were not supporting my father, and they were not supporting George McGovern, who was aligned with my father on all these issues. Instead, the vast majority of them were supporting George Wallace. And, my father was able to harness these populist energies. In the last day of his life, he won the most rural state in this country, South Dakota, and the most urban. He was able to bridge the divide among people who would otherwise be Republican, but wanted somebody who was common sense, who was able to appeal to their idealism, who was able to find the hero in each of them, who was able to get them to transcend narrow self-interest.
He's about to make me cry, dude.
And see themselves as part of the community and part of this, incredible American adventure in modeling self-governance for the rest of the world. And so I'm proud that President Trump likes me, even though I don't agree with him on most of his issues. Because I don't want to alienate people. I want to bring people together. I'm proud that all these people like me and that I have independent supporters and Democratic supporters and that I'm able to bring a lot of people. Every Democrat says, I want to end the polarization. But how do you do that without talking to people who don't agree with you? How do you do that without appealing to people? My purpose is to find the issues, the values that we have in common, rather than, focus on the issues and the personalities that keep us all apart.
Bro, he stole your line, dude. And like, why? How come he's not the host of Stuck in the Middle now? He's just trying to do a Stuck in the Middle podcast, bro. That's what we're doing, RFK.
Totally representing, and I already hear her eagerness with, but, and also I want to just say, I just witnessed what I believe it to be an accident. Jay accidentally hid Rescue. Once that 300 seconds goes by, it was not intentional, but please be careful with your mod ship, everybody. And also, I don't think we mentioned, we're taking the jump to Rumble, and we will be plugging that link accordingly. So anyway, that aside,
real quickly, if you go in the description of this, you'll see our Rumble link there. I don't know how many. Google said we needed like 5 people to live stream on Rumble. Apparently, we already have 5 followers, so maybe we could have already been live streaming on there. I'm not sure, but if you could do us a favor and just go on over to Rumble. I'm sure you have a Rumble. We're all in the same circles. click that. I think it's rumble.com/stuck in the middle. I'm going to be changing it. So we're at Stuck at Night. So it's kind of similar across the boards, but please, if you could go and slap that button around a little bit, give us a few rumbles or whatever, followers, whatever the fuck it is.
Because I'm going to be very candid. I'm fucking sick of YouTube's bullshit. Okay, every single video, whether I curse or not, if you speak about certain things that they regard to be too sensitive, they will ostracize you and ensure you are punished by any means and every means necessary. So YouTube, thanks for hosting us here so we can promote another platform, because I'm fucking done with you. But I'll still be coming on here just
doing
to say
that
hello.
now. That's why, like, I'm almost torn to like start on Kick, because Kick is like one of those up and coming ones. But I think everyone at least has a Rumble, so at the very least, maybe we can put clips on YouTube, live stream on Rumble, yada yada yada. People don't give a fuck. They're just like, listen, you guys talk a good game, maybe, but the consistency is just lacking. There's no consistency. And like, well, yes, you're right. Viewer who is thinking that and has said that, you are correct. But we're working on that, I promise.
And we got somebody that's adding us right now on Rumble. So thank you so much for that real-time support.
That's awesome.
Just the support in general means the world to us. And we're consistently inconsistent. How about that? Okay.
Yeah, and that's at least we're consistent on that.
Yes.
Do you care to see maybe 2 or 3 minutes about what he says about vaccinations, or is that a no-no?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they reversed their TOS on this, man. I'm all for it. Let the truth ring, bro.
This is a long video. Maybe we can share the link somewhere.
Okay.
But we're not going to watch the entire video.
No, yeah, just give me a little taste,
Because so you're well aware by now of Peter Hotez and RFK, the debate that people wanted to happen, but Peter Hotez kind of kowtowed on. Was like, I'm not going to debate this guy. He's a lawyer. He knows how to speak. And, if I debate him, I'm going to validate his opinions, all that bullshit. It happened on the Joe Rogan show.
Did he say moo?
Moo.
Because he kowtowed.
Yeah, he did. No,
did he moo? Okay.
He said, move, bitch, get out the way. But so in this clip, I don't know if we'll get to it completely, but they have, I guess, a physician come up and ask him about a vaccination question, and he really takes his time with it and answers it masterfully. But I think we're not doing him justice if we don't at least show a little bit of it, because it's a 13-minute clip. I don't want to sit here and play fucking 13 minutes of it, but damn, is it engaging as shit? Because he really. He pooped.
Sorry. For the record, the throat thing is, and thank you, Rescue, and everybody that mentioned prior, Richard. Spasmodic dysphoria is the name of what he's got going on there.
Do you think they'll figure out a way to adjust his voice for long speeches, or are people just gonna, what I mean? Like, are they gonna do anything to help it out? Is there nothing to do? Are they going to
sure down the road? I think his actions and what he's saying, obviously you sharing this opinion, are far more critical, than that. But yeah, whatever is to happen right now, I'm glad that I have my eye on somebody who I'm so jilted by our system. I'm afraid to actually throw any faith or hope at any candidates. And I don't know what the future holds for Trump, given all the bullshit. I don't know what to think about DeSantis, because I got people in my head saying things. So anyway, I'm just glad that at least options are growing.
It's such a fucking crazy time. I would even dare to say it's crazier than 2016. I would dare to say that.
You would. Dare,
I did. I said it.
We are at the fever pitch. I don't know what I lose all hope if we get screwed over. If Biden, I can't even entertain the idea of Biden's camp, Biden's endorsement, taking any more of our time in the coveted White House. I can't entertain it. It makes me too depressed.
Let's go ahead and play a tad of this. See what she says.
And Mr. Kennedy, one of the biggest controversies surrounding your candidacy is your stance on childhood vaccines. Nearly every scientific and medical organization,
Just not even vaccines, but childhood vaccines. You would think that would be like a little more serious than like regular vaccines. And they're like, your stance on childhood vaccine. And like, he fucking tears them. If they had an asshole the size of, let's say, Texas, the asshole they have now is at least the size of 1/2 of the United States of America. I don't want to say the full size because he's allowing them room to, let's get back to normal asshole level. Because if I really rip you open, what's going to happen is you're just going to go. That's how your farts are going to sound. The poop's just going to fall right out. You don't want to go that deep, like the billionaires did on the Titan. It's not good.
I was waiting for one of those.
And they're
granted. Permission granted. But okay, I'm glad that he has tact. Let's hear the man out.
And Mr. Kennedy, one of the biggest controversies surrounding your candidacy is your stance on childhood vaccines. Nearly every scientific and medical organization, including the CDC, the FDA, the AMA, the American Academy of Pediatrics, all say you're wrong on this issue.
Jesus.
This leads us to our very first question from our audience. It's Dr. Tariq Butt, who specializes...
I would ask you one thing. On what issue?
On childhood vaccines.
What about them?
And whether they ever cause autism or damage kids. They all say these vaccines have saved millions of lives.
They never damage kids.
I don't think anybody has said they never have. There might be a child here, but overall, all those organizations say vaccines are safe and have saved millions and millions of lives. But let's get to our audience question from Dr. Butts.
Good evening. Eradication of chickenpox and polio from the U.S. and many parts of the world is a direct result of regular vaccines. Measles, mumps, rubella, and many diseases are preventable, and there's little to no evidence of these diseases in vaccinated population. Your vaccine stance is dangerous to the health and well-being of millions. Medical experts are deeply concerned about your message. How can we help you to come to the side of science?
Jesus.
What was the question? How can you help me come to my senses?
No.
No.
Side of science.
You are a very smart person.
Okay, so, I think most people don't know what my stance is on vaccines. I've never been anti-vaccine. And I've said that hundreds and hundreds of times, but it doesn't matter because that is a way of silencing me. Using that pejorative to describe me is a way of silencing or marginalizing me. My position on vaccines, I think, virtually every American would agree with my stance on vaccines, which is that vaccines should be tested like other medicines. They should be safety tested. And unfortunately, the vaccines are not safety tested. They're not, of the 72 vaccine doses now mandated, essentially mandated, they're recommended, but they're really mandated, for American children. None of them, not one, has ever been subject to a pre-licensing placebo-controlled trial.
Yes, they have.
No.
Yes, they have.
Okay, let me just say something. Dr. Fauci and many other people for many years said this, that Bobby Kennedy, when he says that, is wrong. So I met with Dr. Fauci in 2016, and I agreed to go on Trump's Vaccine Safety Commission, and I was with Aaron Siri and Lynn Redwood and a number of other people, and we said to him, can you...
So I don't want to stop it, but just understand what he's saying. He met with Dr. Fauci, he talked with Dr. Fauci. He worked on Trump's, vaccination doohickey, whatever you want to call it. He's not just like, all of this is very, very verifiable. You know what I mean? So he's not just like saying, yeah, like I knew a guy who says this, and then that guy. It's all firsthand encounters. It's all, he's like, as the doctor said, you're a very smart man, sir.
He's boots on the ground. He's well informed and educated. He knows what the hell he's talking about. I love how the reporter who not only pivoted and said, let's take the question from the audience member, and then jumped at the opportunity to say, no, you're wrong there. And here is standing his ground. I really do have my attention on RFK right now. And please, to anybody that I will admit, while I have the utmost respect for Trump after years of being whatever, indoctrinated to hate him. Don't take that as me saying I dislike him. Okay, it is not mutually exclusive to support somebody on that side and then suddenly lose support for another. I can support good candidates for being good candidates. So I just want to make that clear, because there are some people that email me when they get nervous that I start talking back from Trump. But anyway, he's standing his ground firmly.
And that's a big point of what RFK was saying, is like, listen, if we say we can't talk to the other side, how are we going to end polarization? And that right there is a good point, no matter who says it. I agree with that point. You don't got to be left or right, center, up, down, nothing. That's a good point. Yes. How are we going to end polarization if we do not then start talking, or you know what I think it is it's not about talking. It's about, if I don't like you, it's about me allowing you, a sense to have a part of me to listen, because a lot of the times people who are against others just shut down in those conversations and just want to get their talking point about, I'll let you talk, but I'm not listening. It's about us to listen more.
Precisely. And he's giving the specific details to showcase that he is not just like people have done with us many times, Josh, because we are not pro the recent vaccine. We are completely, generically painted, broad stroked as being anti-vaccine. No, I'm not anti-vaccine. I am pro research, and I am pro, anything that's not rushed. So that's it. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, and to people asking, by the way, Queen as well. She had a little fender bender, but she's okay. All right.
Shit.
Just let y'all
what
know.
happened?
A little fendy. I saw pictures. Not serious.
Okay,
she's
glad
okay.
she's okay.
And I'm gonna be calling her, but yeah, she's all right. She's all right.
Let's let them talk a little more. We don't got much left, but he's gonna sum this point up. I mean, it's a whole 13-minute clip, and dude, I'll tell you, it's engaging the whole time. And like, he does.
Would you send it to me, by the way?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
No, I agreed to go on Trump's Vaccine Safety Commission, and I was with Aaron Siri and Lynn Redwood and a number of other people, and we said to him, can you show us one test from any vaccine, pre-licensing safety test? And he said, I'll send it to you. I can't find one
This
now.
is Fauci.
He never did. So we sued him. Aaron Siri and I sued HHS. And after a year of litigation and stonewalling, they said that they could not provide a single safety study for any vaccine that is on the childhood schedule, pre-licensing safety study. So anybody who wants to read that can go to the Children's Health Defense website, and you can read HHS's admission that not a single one has ever been safety tested pre-licensing. Now, what I've said is other medicines are required to do that, and we should have to do that for vaccines. If I'm wrong, show me the test, show me the study. You won't be able to.
Check this out. So if we go right under this video, I think this is the video.
That's the most refreshing thing I've heard this year, by the way. One of. And I'm going to send you something, by the way, since we're on vaccines at the moment. Regardless of any danger this may put my channel in, I would like, if you don't mind, for you to play this.
Yeah, pull it up.
3 minutes.
I just want to let you know. So this is from the HHS website, just as he was saying. Please explain how HHS justifies licensing any pediatric vaccine without first conducting a long-term clinical trial in which the rate of adverse reactions is compared between the subject group and a control group receiving an inert placebo. This is their response. Inert placebo controls are not required to understand the safety profile of a new vaccine and are thus not required. In some cases, inclusion of a placebo control group is considered unethical. So Robert Kennedy goes on to say that, I think it was in the 1980s, we essentially passed a rule where vaccination companies can't be sued. And he's like, when I was growing up, there was 3 vaccines. After this thing came out, 72. He was like, it was a gold rush to put out vaccines, and you couldn't sue them.
And I've heard something very distinctly similar to this. It's one and the same as every corrupt system that's in place that cannot be too big to fail, or the laws are put into place because of dirty lobbyists and dirty politicians that work with them. So
should we play
very
a little
depressing.
more? Should we just go on a little more and see, see if we get burned? It's good, bro. I'm telling you. I know.
I'm pretty hooked on it. And then, I sent you a copy and paste because my computer was giving me issues.
Do you want me to play that copy and paste now and then go back to this real quick?
Go ahead. And I have to say this, though. YouTube, this might be the reason that YouTube gives me a second strike. I have not been able to vet this. Allegedly, this footage, this doctor is in Canada. I don't know any more than you all do. And if it hasn't been fact checked, it hasn't been debunked. This man is making the strongest case against vaccines I've ever seen in my life. So be ready. It's everything we've ever talked about in terms of fears and the results we've been waiting for regarding people that take the vaccine and certain consequences that happen after that. So I'm not going to trigger warn anybody, but be ready for a very heavy-handed opinion by a doctor.
Have you watched this whole video?
No, but just
turned out to be a complete failure. In fact, what they had created.
Okay, so let me go back to the beginning and full screen this here. So we'll go back to the RFK thing in a second. That's what we do. We kind of jump around a little bit. Listen, if you haven't, please go over to the Rumble link in the description. Follow us on there so we can live stream. We're pretty much done with YouTube. It's fucked. Stuck at Night's channel over. It's fucked. Progressive Patriot channel over. And as you know, many others. So all of our friends are on there. We're deciding to go ahead and make the jump. So if you could give us a follow over yonder on the old Rumble ski.
Now more than ever, we have to represent that we are absolutely involved and want to see the changes we hope to see in the world. So that will take some team effort. So please feel free to hit the like button to help the algorithm on crap YouTube. And above all else, please subscribe or find us on Rumble. Now check this out right here.
This new type of vaccine turned out to be a complete failure. In fact, what they had created was not a vaccine, but an anti-vaccine. Do you remember that we were told that the way out of this pandemic was to get everyone vaccinated? That was what was going to keep us.
Can I ask you real quick? Do we know who this is?
I'm being very forthcoming.
This is a guy with a laptop. He's fully cropped in. I can't say where he's actually speaking to.
I've done no vetting of my own because I've only had work, and this was only seen yesterday.
So it says breaking news: Canadian doctor testifies under oath that the vaccine are more likely to. And dude, so in that RFK thing, he goes on to say that there was a vaccine that was discontinued here in the 80s because some shit was happening, but it was still going on in Africa. And in Africa, they finally did a study where a lot of young women were dying, and they finally did a study that the young women that were dying they received the jab, and the ones who weren't dying didn't receive the jab, and the ones who were dying weren't dying because of what the jab was protecting them against. They weren't getting any of what it was protecting them against. They were dying from other things like pulmonary embolisms and stuff like that. They were dying from other stuff, and it was 10 times the rate of the unjabbed ones. And he was going to say that.
We're going to hear a case for that. And we just so happen to have another fantastic channel that's on YouTube. What's up, Cher, aka Voices Behind the Wall? Please do let me know, since I know she resides in Canada, if you have ever seen or if you're familiar with Cher. The clip that we're playing, this has only been shared to me by an American friend, and I have not done any vetting. I'm only going off of the fact that Facebook has not removed this or put any fact checks. So if you know or recognize this and can confirm, that would be great. Thank you.
Jesus. Okay, let's play this.
Yeah.
Safe. But what I want to show you next was that literally what has happened to Canada is exactly what happened to those laboratory animals that were tested with the vaccine against the very first SARS virus. That so-called vaccine ended up working as an anti-vaccine and made them more vulnerable to the disease than if they had not been vaccinated. So what we now have is a pandemic of the vaccinated. I'm going to show you the evidence that
Pause. I can say, all right, now with boots on the ground in Canada, Josh, this is confirmed as legit. Okay.
Awesome. Good to know.
All right.
This so-called vaccine is actually an anti-vaccine, and that it has increased people's risk. It increases your chance of getting COVID, it increases your chance of spreading COVID, and it damages your immune system to such a degree that you have a higher risk of hospitalization and death. And of course, that's what
at the very least, we know it didn't, with the facts out there, at least, you know, from a layman's term, we know it didn't decrease your chance of the first. We know it didn't decrease your chance of the second. And I feel like a lot of people did know that it kind of fucked with your immune system a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. And what they were advertising to incentivize people to get the jab was laughable. Talking about a 0.5 or under a 1% chance. So yeah, 0.5, the same amount, the same percentage of the amount of people that are intersex, literally hermaphrodites. So that's the likeliness we have here. Yeah. So go on anyway.
Yep. Fucking yep.
They were looking at that and they're like, pump those rookie numbers up.
That even
it's just like, you know, I'm not a fucking doctor. You're not a doctor. We're all not doctors. And we're just like, yeah, our doctor says this and that doctor says that. And it's just like, at some point, like we have a gut feeling, and it's just like, yeah, you know, there are things about this I believe and I don't believe, and I'm not going to change your mind on that. But yet here we are stuck in this, like, this cycle of let's confirm this side, or let's confirm that side. Let's just keep these wheels a turning. It's just like, at some point, like, I wonder, do you think this will ever cross the other side? Will the other side look at this and be like, you know what? Yup, that's what's going on.
It's specifically not in their job description to ever, you know, bend the knee, so to speak, or concede. They have to maintain their strong bullshit talking points just to do it.
Do you find conservatives like that, or do you find right now that all the points conservatives are disagreeing with are righteous and for the better?
Oh, no. They're like Lindsey Graham. There's definitely conservatives that are still just as full of shit as Democrats. I'm never going to go all in on a party ever again.
Even if you did, you wouldn't necessarily be wrong. I was just curious if you know.
Right. Yeah. No. I don't find only, like, I do find, like, I watch hearings almost every single day. And what I find amusing, yeah. You did a funny, okay? No funnies allowed when I'm in the zone, Chief. All right, no.
Not now, Chief. I'm in a fucking zone.
Side LOL. The hearings that I see, it just so happens to be Republicans at the Senate checking and making Democrats look like fools for being fools and for lying and for being hypocrites. That's all. When it starts in the reverse, I'll start talking about that.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just like, if I make you look like a fool, you fucking hate me more, you know? It's just like, how do we stop the polarization? You know, I feel like just going back to RFK, just like, I like what he's talking about. I like the idea of, like, let's reach across the aisle, but not just say words, but do it, and not just, you know, who's like a Republican in name only. Let's, you know, as a Democrat, let me reach across the aisle to a rhino. No, bitch, that doesn't count. Reach across the aisle to somebody who's like, fuck you. You're like, yeah, let me talk to that guy.
You know, the last time Rhino reached across the aisle to Biden,
here we go.
Biden allegedly smacked the hand away because he was under the impression it was for a hand job.
See, I thought when the Rhino reached across the aisle, Biden fondled it. He's like, let me grab them rhino balls.
Well, you know, first he like touched him, and then the Rhino was like, no, this is for a handshake that we could work together. And he's like, you're not going to give me a hand job, man? And then it went all to crap.
I heard the Rhino got all horny.
And, well, I got nothing to top that, so I'm just going to have to
Damn.
Well done. We need to start doing this more often. So we get ungreased. Okay.
You want to keep playing this COVID video, or?
Yes, because I haven't seen it all.
No, they now admit it doesn't stop you getting COVID. It doesn't stop you spreading COVID. They say it'll keep you out of hospital. At least you won't die. And I'm going to show you the evidence for why that is absolutely false. This is a very important study that came out.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm never a fan of absolutes. When someone tells me, "Listen, this is it. This is why this is absolutely false," I'm like, well, I mean, I don't. I like the alternative information. That especially that helps go with kind of how I've been feeling. But when you tell me you're absolute, I'm like, I feel like you're just saying that, but
Until proven otherwise. I mean, I can't absolutely believe this until even with somebody I trust, I still need to, with my own eyes. I wish journalists did as much work as we do.
And here's the thing. Who the fuck am I to not believe it? I'm not a doctor. I'm like, well, this doctor, I really don't believe him, so I think it's fake. Like, who the fuck are you?
Just imagine, the freaking exact liberals that we deal with on a daily on Facebook. What they'd say, oh, where'd you hear this? A guy on YouTube that's a doctor. Yeah, okay, So
Right.
There's some credence to the concern you have.
You should watch Hassan Piker. He'll tell you the truth.
Hassan Piker always
Is that a guy on YouTube that's telling you news? Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Senk Uger.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
Call
2 months ago
douche.
from Cleveland, Ohio. This was a study done on healthcare workers, 51,000 healthcare workers that had had various numbers of COVID injections. The bottom of the graph is the passage of time, and they followed these people for 3 months to see who was getting COVID. And of course, the people that are getting COVID are the people who are spreading COVID. So there are 5 lines there. The black line at the bottom is the people that were unvaccinated. Zero doses of this vaccine.
I thought we just did away with affirmative action. What's going on here, Josh?
The black line?
Is at the bottom? I didn't know we were dealing with a racist graph.
Me neither.
Or giraffe.
White supremacy at its finest. Or actually, purple supremacy at its finest.
I mean, well, no. Look at the entire page color. All the lines are saying
there is more white than anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right.
Even the text is in white.
When you're right, you're white. That's what I say.
That's what they say.
Getting less COVID than anyone else. The next line up, the red line, is those that had had 1 dose of the vaccine. The green line, 2 doses. The blue line, 3 doses. And the top line, the brown one, were the people that had had the bivalent booster, the one that's supposed to keep you the safest. They were getting COVID more than anyone else. There was an absolute direct linear correlation that the more shots you got, the more likely you would get COVID and the more likely you would spread COVID.
Fuck, that's like the opposite of what a vaccine should do. Shit.
I was taught that this is exactly how they work. They give you the virus, make you more susceptible to the virus, lessen your mortality rate. That's how it's supposed to work.
It's like
in 2023.
Like some stoners there. He's like, oh, I forgot to put the antidote. Like when you get the vaccine, we inject you with a little bit of like the COVID, but I totally forgot to put like the thing that fights the COVID in there, dude. That's my bad, dude. That was the purple. I gave you the purple one, dude. That's totally my bad. Everyone that got the red one, they're fucking cruising. So that's my B.
Ja, bro, totally understandable, man. You're only human, bro. What's a few, human lives that gave us blind trust and surrendered their freedoms, bro? It's totally cool, man.
Yeah, dude. Ja feel, dude. Ja feel.
Ja feel.
So what about severe injury and death? This is from New South Wales, Australia. This is 2 bar graphs. The one on the left is a bar graph with 4 bars.
Buddy, you just said these are 2 bar graphs. The one on the left is a bar graph. Yeah. If you said, listen, I got 4 graphs here. The one on the left is a bar graph. The one on the right is a pie chart. But you told me they were 2 bar graphs to begin with. I didn't need further clarification that the one of 2 bar graphs on the left is a bar graph.
Oh, I heard him say the one on the left is a bar graph and the one on the right is a bar graph, as he says in his. You heard it.
I remember.
Bar graph.
I remember when I was doing Xanax. I put him. I had a graph of bars.
I
was a
can
I was doing a
sadly
Xanax
relate to
joke.
your attempt at this
Yeah.
joke.
That was a guy under the influence of Xanax trying to do a Xanax joke.
Thinking they were funny about yes.
No, dude, jaw feel, dude. Nah.
One on the left is a bar graph with 4 bars showing, again, the number of vaccine doses. The graph on the left, those columns are people in hospital. The graph on the right is people in ICU. Just for the sake of time and simplicity, let's look at the one of ICU.
I don't think it gets simpler than 2 bar graphs. I'm not gonna lie though, but that's
Bar
just me.
graphs, man.
Bar
Aren't you hearing
graphs.
him enunciate?
You can tell he's from like Europe or Canada because he said the people in hospital, not the people in the hospital. but
Yeah.
the
That's a
people in
big
hospital.
giveaway there.
But it's weird though because we would say the people in ICU, we wouldn't say the people in the ICU. So it's weird why we just were like, no, it's the hospital here, bitch, and it's ICU. You don't gotta say the before ICU.
Because that's how we roll, cuzzo.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
That's
right.
what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that. Thank you for.
Damn right.
I started to wander off back. You took me down. You pulled me back down to earth, and I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
I am your spiritual and educational guru.
Ja feel.
Graph on the right. You can see the people that had 0 doses, in other words, the unvaccinated, there were absolutely none of them in ICU. 0. Of the people that had 1 shot, very few in ICU.
It's just hard for me to be like, yeah, this guy's 100%. Like, really, like nobody, like not one person who was unvaxxed, who was just like a morbidly obese piece of shit, didn't end up in the ICU. Canada.
No, we know that happened actually.
No, but he's saying 0 though. He's saying 0.
I know.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, why? What? Do you know, or are you just being facetious?
No, dude. Remember, we had a case of a kind of obese American that was making his Facebook the hub of him not taking the vaccine, and then remember that.
But what I'm saying is like this. Do you agree that this guy just said like there was 0 people who died?
Yeah, it's making me a little nervous.
Right.
I need to vet personally. That's all.
I'm just confused at like if when it's so zoomed in and it's cropped, like maybe he is a Canadian doctor, and like was this in like what kind of is this a kangaroo court?
Yes,
I'm joking, but that's in Australia. Psych. Okay, you guys didn't know that. You learned something here.
There were absolutely none of them in ICU. 0 of the people.
Zilch. All right, let's go back. Hang on one second.
Of people in hospital. The graph on the right is people in ICU. Just for the sake of time and simplicity, let's look at the one of ICU, the graph on the right. You can see the people that had 0 doses, in other words, the unvaccinated, there were absolutely none of them in ICU. 0. Of the people that had 1 shot, very few in ICU. And literally, the more shots they had, the more likely they would end up in ICU. It was an exact linear relationship. The more accumulated damage to your immune system from these boosters, the more harm that you would have from this disease.
Oh, CHD. What is the
Children's Health Defense. I think this is from RFK. I think Children's Health Defense is with RFK. I'm not sure exactly.
Something I'm going to be looking into. All right. Go on. What you got for us before we
Do you want to finish the RFK thing or no?
What do you feels?
I don't know.
Down, brother.
It's fucking he's just minus his shit voice, he's a good talker. You know what I mean? Like he gets to such a fucking sweet point.
What do you say, those of you that can hear me in real time? Shall we how much time do we got left with RFK?
Let me ask you this, Eli.
Yes, good sir.
This is when we hope to do this next Thursday. We know how this goes. How much time do you
I'm gone
really
for July
have left?
through the 10th, right?
So can we go a little longer than 2 hours? Can we not just end at 12? Because we could do a few things in 2.5, 3 hours.
I do have a 10-hour shift. I know it's so woe is me, world's smallest violin. I got a morning shift and I don't do well with those. So
you can't sacrifice it a little bit for your audience and having some fun for your co-host whom you never see for a long time. You're gonna and you're not gonna be here next week, right? You're gonna be on vacation.
Yes.
So we're not gonna do a show next week.
I might be able to do something from the cell phone, but anyway,
we know it's not gonna happen.
I wouldn't mind. But anyway,
Nah, that's not gonna
let's do continue, please.
Okay, let's try a little bit. We'll see a little bit more of this. I mean, it's kind of out of context now, so I mean, in a few moments we'll know if we want to keep doing this. Well, actually, you know what? I tell you what, fuck it. We're not doing it. I'm calling it. We're not doing the RFK thing. We're bouncing from the RFK thing. I think we had a good transition into your COVID thing. It was a good vaccination thing. He brings up a lot more good points, but I will share with you that video in the chat.
Oh, please do. Yes.
Don't want to piss people off. Where do we go from here?
Well, okay.
That was a Blink-182 song.
There is a strange line that's reverberating in my mind, my brain space, and it won't make sense if I say it out loud to the audience, but if I say it to you,
is it about we didn't start the fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, precisely.
Okay. I don't mind that whatsoever. I just want to make sure we don't feel like we're missing anything. Because you did.
We usually do.
You did yeah, but you know, we go in the moment, and that's all that really matters.
Amen to that.
I just want to.
What's up, Just Scotty?
I want to remind you about the pizza thing. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. No, but don't end of it. I want to also remind you, real quick, about the tides are turning and South Park's taking over for The Simpsons. I want to remind you about that. So, okay, here we go. This is it. This is a great example of when the media go media, right? Because they found something that just really warmed the cockles of their heart. They're like, this is it. This is the story. This is a man. This is a gay man of all types of men who was just minding his own beeswax, walking down the street. Look at me. I'm a guy. I like sucking dicks. No big deal with that, right? Yeah, not at all.
Somebody clip that immediately.
Oh
right
my
there.
God. Oh, I did it. I'll fucking clip it for you, bro. You're right. I'm a guy. I like sucking dicks. Oh, I did it again. Fuck.
You did it twice with the motion.
Ah, shit.
Woo, yeah, okay.
Shit. Well, that's out there for the world to see.
Forever and a day.
This man, is detailing a walk that turned into a nightmare. That ended with him being targeted with gay slurs before being set on fire.
Did you run into Juicy Smollett?
I know, right? Are you Juicy? So, like, yeah, there's a guy right there. Look at that. This video's kind of playing all kind of nimly-bimly like. I like it.
Is that the guy? That's the guy.
You know what? Maybe we can watch the video.
How about that?
I just don't want the video to spoil the M. Night Shyamalan twist. That's all.
Oh, yeah, well.
If people don't know the twist, let's see if the video. I'll pause it. I swear to God.
I know something you don't know.
Burst into flames.
That's because he's gay.
Yeah, he's flaming.
They're called the flaming homosexuals.
Yes.
Yes.
So
am I wrong or no?
No, it's very not uncommon that
the news started that off like that. They're like, dude, let's start off with him just saying, "I just burst into flames." Like that's what they chose to start the package off with.
Well, I mean that's just science and biology, okay?
Hang on.
If you're flamer, oh God,
let me take me out of this equation because like the title of it is fuck. Hang on, here we go. Let's see. Gay man set on fire in hate-filled attack. Yeah, I set him on fire. He started burning.
He was already banding over as my. Oh no, I'm not saying that.
Good cuck soldier. Okay, here we go.
There you go. That's safer.
Yes. All right, here we go. Let's play it.
I just burst into flames.
That's because you're gay. I'm sorry. That's
flame on, girlfriend.
That's right side Josh coming out.
A man detailing a walk turned nightmare in Hillcrest as he was harassed and then set on fire. He tells ABC 10 News.
Doesn't it jump a lot? Like he was harassed and then set on fire. It's like there's got to be a progression here. You can't.
No, it just goes from, hey, buddy, you suck, and then
suck dick.
Yeah, and then dick. Somebody does a Harry Potter spell and fire.
Yeah, fire. Yeah. Hey. Whoa. Hold up. Boom, fire.
Set on fire. He tells ABC 10 News reporter Michael Chen the motivation for the attack was hate. And we do want to warn you that some of the images are graphic.
I love a good
The
graphic.
majority of the burns are on my side torso, going up my
That's
back.
fabulous.
A week later,
You know, there's a few mental burns. She was like, yeah, whatever. You're stupid. Burn. He was like,
That's-
ah.
I'm sorry. I'm appreciating the fishnet style of the bandaging.
No, that's just his clothes.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's just what he's wearing, dude. Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, dude. You thought that was fishnet to hold the bandages on?
I thought they got like the gayest doctor in the world. He's like, you know what? These bandages are gonna look fabulous today.
Listen, I got burned, but I still got to show my nip, dude.
See, that's what I was thinking.
Gay
All right.
man set on fire.
Mhm.
On my side torso, going up my back.
a week later,
Very uncomfortable.
moving around remains painful for Scott Rowan.
Just like
ever
a
since
dick in
an
the butt.
evening walk.
I love when the news tells us like obvious things.
Yeah, yeah. The
He was
fire
burned.
on my skin was
Yeah.
painful.
It was painful. It hurt for a while.
I think, and he was about to say, I much really prefer penis.
Yeah. I swear to God, taking a 12-incher up the poop chute hurts a lot less than this shit. So more power to burn victims out there because this is bullshit.
For Scott Rowan,
Solidarity.
ever since an evening walk
Instantly just went into flames.
turned into something from a horror movie. Last Monday night, Rowan says he stopped by the loft on Fifth Avenue and inquired about a job. He left past 8 p.m. and headed
Whoa,
south
whoa, whoa!
towards his
Did you see what it said below the loft?
What it said.
Oh God,
Oh, it said cock. It said cock. It said cock T.
yo,
Cock
man! I'm
Wow,
just
good
calling
eye,
it-
dude.
it's
I
the
mean, I
fact.
don't know why your eye's picking up cock, but
It's right there in my face, man. I can't.
cock's in your
unsee it.
face.
Right here at the moment. Yep.
Wow, what a story. What a story. And the twist hasn't even happened yet. And I'm
Oh,
not
that
talking
wasn't a twist. The
I'm
sign.
not and I'm not talking about Peyronie's disease, bro. I'm talking a real legit twist.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
he stopped by the loft on Fifth Avenue and inquired
The loft cock. The loft cock tea.
about a job. He left past 8 p.m. and headed south.
I love how it's all innocent. I just stopped by the bar. I was like, yo, you fucking bitches hiring? What's
Yeah.
the deal?
I see it
Y'all
says
sign
cock
says
under your
cock.
sign.
It says cocktail, bitch. Yeah, whatever. It's hidden. I thought it said cock tease because that's what you is, bitch. And they just keep calling each other bitch back and forth. I'm assuming this is how gay conversation goes. No?
Every day, all
Yeah,
day.
right.
Sure.
And I love a good recollection in black and white because that's how the gays see. You know,
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Right.
they
learned
can
they were-
only
they were
see in black and white.
colorblind.
Yeah, they're colorblind. Yeah, for sure.
Except
about a
for when
job.
they fornicate. Apparently, it's
Well,
just science, though. It's just science.
What's weird though is they always choose the purple dildo. I don't know why. You think they're colorblind? but
they can't. Didn't you know they can't see the color purple?
I thought it was all colors, hence colorblind.
No matter what.
He left
Okay.
past 8 p.m. and headed
See, look,
south towards his downtown
and
apartment,
white.
intending to call an Uber. His memory is hazy, but somewhere within a few blocks, he heard
Memory's hazy, bitch. Just leave me alone.
The narrator sounds like he's a little. It's okay. I mean,
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you don't remember shit, but I'll report on it. I got you, bro. I got your back, gay man.
what sounded like two people yelling gay slurs.
This, that word came up quite a bit.
With no one around him, Rowan, who is gay, realized
Rowan, who is gay?
just
Yeah.
in case there was any confusion.
He's not the gay man that you have just like, the epitome, whatever, like, the titular name of this segment is called Gay Man Set on Fire. That's, I believe we know he's the gay man.
With his titulars showing through his fishnet shirt.
yeah.
Yeah.
the slurs were being directed at him.
Yelled back a couple things like that. Hey, that's up.
Moments later, he heard footsteps
You see how like Chili is like, yeah, I was like, you know what? That's not cool, dude. Fucking
What a counterattack. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, that's not cool. Okay.
that's fucked up.
Just whatever. Whatever.
I feel like he said it more like this. I feel like he said, that's fucked up. I feel like he said
Yeah.
it more like that because he's saying it really like, I was like, that's fucked up. I
Again, you're dealing in science and
It's like
biology
that,
here.
yeah.
This is accurate.
believe that's called logic. Logic 101.
Logic
Behind
that
him.
starts.
Rowan says as he turned around, he caught a quick glimpse of one of the people, a man in his 20s or 30s. At the same time, he says a clear liquid was thrown at him. It had the consistency of water.
Immediately after that,
Consistency of water.
We didn't say he had water thrown at him. We said we had a clear liquid thrown at him, which had the consistency of water.
Was the news hoping to do like plot twist? It wasn't water.
What else could it be when it has the consistency of water?
I mean, did it not reek of perhaps gasoline, something flammable?
I would assume
understand.
they would mention that.
Oh wait. I'm sorry. Cancel world. Can the gays smell? Like, is that a part of their structure?
No, if you see the gay in this current video has snake bites, which for me assumes he smells like a snake. So every time he says, "Go,"
that's
how snakes smell. They smell with their tongues.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, word.
So it's more like tasting.
Isn't that though how
Is
they
this a
show
penis? Yep, that's a penis.
That's another biological fact, Josh. But when they bear their metal fangs like that, isn't that them saying it's okay to approach?
I just think it's identification. And listen, you're talking to a guy who previously had snake bites.
Oh, I mean,
so I know how it all works. I know the mating call. I know how we call back and forth. Snake bites, eyebrow piercing, 2 gauges.
I knew there was something funny about you. Okay.
Freaky. Something freaky going on here.
Water.
Immediately after that, I went up kind of like coals on a barbecue.
On fire, Rowan says he stopped, dropped, and rolled.
And sucked the nearest cock. Because that's what we do to get off fire. Stop, drop, and roll, and give me that penis. I'm on fire.
On the cement, patting himself.
I can only assume because they're just so happy about everything. So even being set on fire, they're like, "Oh my God, this is so hot." But you know, it would be more hot if I blew you while I was on fire. You know,
frolicking in a picnic on fire. And right now, I'm just imagining in some future world where a virtue signaling podcast finds us talking here and showcases us and sets the hounds on us. But okay,
it's gonna happen. It'll
maybe.
Happen. Yeah. But hey, buddy. We didn't start the fire. It was already burning.
Literally.
Yeah.
We all know it takes water to start
out
fires.
The flames. Rowan suffering second-degree burns, mostly along his side and back. It is unclear if he'll need surgery.
Do you believe this was a hate crime?
Oh, this is absolutely a hate crime.
As the stream of slurs replays in his mind.
Those are the eyes of a man who's like, I'm not telling the truth.
I mean, while you mention it, yeah.
I'm not telling the truth.
I'm withholding very important information to this whole story.
Yeah, so this fucking piece of shit who was like, I was just in survival mode, just in the zone, I have to save my life. This was most definitely a hate crime. Well, a few days later, more information
says he was attacked and burned
started coming out. Let me full screen this bad boy. Let's have
more information? What? That,
yeah.
That he's recovering, that they found the assailant.
Says he was attacked and burned in an alleged hate crime, is suspected of assaulting a pregnant woman. Earlier this week, Scott Rowan, who is
gay. We have to say that. We have to say that. Who is gay?
Okay, so pardon me.
Let's start it over. Let's try it again.
Okay.
Because honestly, when I heard it, I was like, what? No, wait.
I didn't see this one coming.
No, he's gay, dude. He didn't assault anybody. He's who is gay, right? We're playing Jeopardy, right? Who is gay?
Yeah.
The answer is Scott Rowland, and I said, who is gay? And they're like, yes. Double Jeopardy, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm confused. Let's try it again.
Police say a man who says he was attacked and burned in an alleged hate crime is suspected of assaulting a pregnant woman. Earlier this week, Scott Rowan, who is gay, told us.
No, they said it. Yeah, no. He assaulted a pregnant woman while being gay. That's a crime, right? You can't do that on Friday nights.
I'm spitballing here, man.
Yeah, please.
Did that have anything to do with being set on fire?
I wouldn't assume so. I feel like she probably like she's getting beat up, right? You know, she's being assaulted. Fuck you, you childbearing whore, whatever, whatever, Scott, who is gay, would call her. He's hitting her. Then unrelated, she's like, although Scott, who is gay, you are beating me up, separately, I would like to announce here currently that you, Scott, who is gay, I will be setting you on fire, but not because Scott, who is gay, is gay.
No, it's because he's beating the crap out of a pregnant woman.
unfortunately, Scott was like, "Yo, I'm beating you up and all, but this fire, I feel like is hate coming at me. I feel like you're throwing hate at me because I'm gay."
He was very innocently beating a pregnant woman,
dude,
with being in danger of losing her precious child.
I was being innocent. I'm just hitting her just a little bit. I can't do what she's doing. I'm gay. I can't have kids. I'm just beating her a little bit.
It was just that hate fuel that started that fire.
Yeah, just a little bit of hate fuel. I'm cool. She's not gay.
Sound like RFK.
I'm gay. Don't clip that.
In an alleged hate crime, is suspected of assaulting a pregnant woman. Earlier this week, Scott Rowan, who is gay, told us he was set on fire in a targeted attack in San Diego. Investigators paint a different picture. They say they got a 911 call that night of a man attacking a pregnant woman. She was bleeding and had several injuries, requiring her to go to the hospital. An hour later, officers got a report of a man saying he'd been set on fire. Officers determined the man with the burn injuries was the suspect in the attack on the pregnant woman. Then they say she retaliated using fire as a weapon against him. So far, no one has been arrested. Hello, I'm Mark.
Yeah, I would like to know, one, what sorcery is she practicing? Who you use fire as a weapon? Where do you just get fire from? Watch out, bitch! I got fire, and you get fire. How do you get fire? Was it like aerosol and a lighter? Fire! I got fire. Was it like just like two twigs again? Hang on.
If we're going to go with the lead of the original story before that important detail, you just turn on the faucet, Josh.
How'd he get that fire? It was already
beating
burning.
a pregnant woman like a piece of shit. And so now I don't feel so bad about roasting that man the entire time. But
isn't that great? Isn't that great? It was like, it was all racial stuff. It was all, and she was like,
bigotry.
Get off me, F word, because you're hurting me. You're punching me, F word. He's like, you're being a hateful bitch right now.
Which is why I'm giving you 2 in the belly.
So I'm tuning you up. You and your unborn child, you bitch. She's
well,
like,
that man does, and nobody's arrested yet. Jesus.
No, here's fire though. There you go.
Well, fire is a great retardant. Can I say that this day and age against flamers that want to beat women? You punk.
Can I show you one retardant before we get into Roseanne real quick?
Okay.
Thank you. This is just great. I told you this section is blank shit and blank shit. So I can't tell you what the blanks are, but this is how I titled them.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Now, she physically couldn't start a fire.
I recognize her.
Yeah, she was the one who recently came out of the world and was like, yo, fat people need equal rights on planes. So why don't y'all build us bigger seats, bitch? And like mic drop, whatever. Candy bar drop. Boom, bitch.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, okay.
So now she wants to talk to her followers, and she's like, and one of her followers asked, do you find 2 seats in economy room enough?
Oh my God. Just do like a reaction tutorial video.
You're shaped like a Cadbury egg. You know that, right? Are you creamy on the inside?
Ugh.
You porker. Okay, look at this heifer. Let's let her talk. Now, this is where I'm just okay.
This is a great question. And as much as I've talked about buying 2 seats as a plus size traveler who wears a size 6X, I've never given you the real tea on.
Of course, some type of food reference. I've never given you the real tea.
Oh. And speaking of tea, I could go for a T-bone.
You know how I like my iced tea? 4 pounds of sugar. Delicious. Could go real. I've never given you the real scoop of ice cream on this. You piece of garbage. Okay.
This is the real tea on how comfortable it is to sit in 2 seats. So let me break it down for you in this video. I wear a size 6X and so does my partner. When we travel, we sit together in a row of 3. So our situation might be a little bit different than yours. Even though we get a row of 3 seats, I take up much more room than my partner does. And so we share the middle seat. So I'm taking up like 1.5 seats. They're taking up just usually 1. When we get 3 seats and we sit together, there is enough room for us to both sit comfortably, but it's a little bit of a tight squeeze.
Why is it a tight squeeze? You did this eye roll thing like you were disgusted that it was a tight squeeze, as if you have no control over this tight squeeze. To be honest with you, it was a tight squeeze, you piece of shit.
Yeah, they should rebuild planes to prepare for more people like me or something.
They'd have to have like one seat on the right side and everybody else on the left side. You don't want that. You don't want that.
No.
You're gonna look very ostracized. Maybe 2 years on the right side, and then the rest of everybody on the left side. It's just gonna look weird.
Just give them their own plane.
Yeah. And let's listen. Maybe let's let that plane run out of gas. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just spitballing. That's all.
I hear there's submarines for such things.
Unfortunately, she already looks like a blobfish, and I believe they can survive at those depths. So we have nothing to worry about.
Oh, yes, true.
Yeah,
it
will implode, and she will look the exact same under. You know what a blobfish looks like?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's on the screen, correct?
Yes.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, it evolved out of water.
Yeah, she's actually 12,000 feet deep right now recording this. This is what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that makes full sense.
She's
okay.
in the Titanic, actually.
Explains why it looks like her cheeks are like floating upward. Okay.
She's just blobbing. Just what they do.
Squeeze. And the thing that I find the hardest is the lack of legroom. While
I wish there was some sort of
remedy,
daily
right?
Something I could perhaps do that could maybe make this less of an issue. But okay, right now, in the meantime, it's everybody else's accommodations' fault.
I'm sitting here, 500 pounds. I'm sitting in a seat and a half, and I'm wondering, where's the leg room? You know, where did the fucking leg room go on these fucking flights? Huh? Am I right? Huh?
I mean, you raise a strong point, sir. I'm outraged for her right now.
I'd rather go with a heavy point. Was that better? I raise a heavy point. Very, 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 very heavy point.
I feel it.
Yeah.
Feel it.
2 seats in economy is enough for me to fly comfortably. Of course, I wish that I had a little bit more room, especially when it comes to leg room. All in all, I will say if you're size 6X like me or smaller, you will be able to travel comfortably in 2 economy seats. Thank you so much for your comment and your question. If you have any more questions for me, drop them down below in the comments.
Will you ever lose weight?
Dude, they give like a
look. Yeah. Ask me anything. Ask me anything. She didn't put the G on there. She just put thin.
And she's completely oblivious to that.
No, I think she thinks she's 100% in on it.
I don't think she's sentient enough, sir.
No, dude. Those things have evolved for a while now.
You're right. They do have some form of self-awareness, but I cannot sit here and believe that she's taken up 2 seats and seeing no personal accountability and issue.
1.5.
1.5 seats, and she's like, it sounds like she's just complaining that there's not. That's what she's doing.
Yeah, there's not enough leg room.
Zero. I would love to see how she interacts with any of her supporters that actually care about her health and well-being, or if they do show such an example, if they're immediately like deleted or called a hater.
I would have loved to see how
the world we're in.
I would have loved to see how she reacted with Muhammad Atta.
Muhammad Atta, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, that was one of the gentlemen who hijacked the plane on 9/11.
Oh crap! Okay, shut up. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's where I recognize the name from. Okay.
Wonder if she would have gotten more room on United 93.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, the plane would have gone down either way.
Oh yeah, for sure. We would have realized while it gone down. Oh well, heifer. It went
We've
down
been heavy-handed on a
heavy-handed. Was that a pun? Was that a fat pun? Heavy-handed.
A gay fella and a heavy lady that takes 1.5 seats. We're going strong.
What can I tell you? Easy. This is a wide target. Okay. The heifer is a wide target. The gay guy is the easy target. Especially when he goes on this tirade of saying how innocent and how much of a hate-filled attack it was when he leaves out the the core part that he, in fact, beat up a pregnant
woman. Yeah,
fucking
no,
bitch.
It's a minute detail, Josh. You're being a bigot by asking for more facts. Okay.
I would like to challenge you on this, on more facts, because you're Jewish, right? You're Jewish.
Jubian Prince, Jewish,
Jubian
yes,
Prince.
ish.
One of your people came out recently and said that the Holocaust didn't happen.
Oh, this again.
Came out and said that the Jews deserve to die.
Damn, that's harsh.
You know who
One
this
of my
person
people,
was?
huh?
Yeah, one of your people. A one Roseanne Barr.
Food or
I believe she's related to the Barr from the Trump.
She's related to the bars.
Damn it!
Graph earlier. Okay,
I tried it, but I fucked it up.
I saved it. She's related to the bars on the bar graph.
Damn.
Okay, so let me hear the tone so I could make my own judgment.
Let me go forward. I got to cue it up for you. Queuing on it up. Okay.
Look at that Jew-hating cigarette from the Jew lady.
So here is full context. Okay.
For the real truth. They're horrified of it. They'd rather go with bullshit. It's easier.
And
like for the real truth that, you know, and I'm glad that they did set up all these guidelines so that we only are allowed to speak the truth. And the truth is that Biden got 81 million votes by winning 36 counties. And that is just incredible. It really, really is. And that.
Do you already hear the facetiousness in her? She's like, I'm so glad they've mandated the truth. Like already, you already know she's fucking around.
This is exactly how Candace Owens has been handling YouTube cracking down on her talking about gender during Pride Month. She's doing this same thing. It would take a moron not to be able to pick up on that.
Right.
Oh, wait.
Counties. And that is just incredible. It really, really is. And that of these 81 million supporters who gave him more votes than any president has ever gotten before, he came with a mandate from these 81 million voters. And, you know, I'm just glad that they were very careful to make sure that nobody could detract from that proven truth. You know what I mean?
Like, what do you mean? Like that nobody...
That they mandated that that was the truth and that nobody could say, well, what about no?
Oh, it was made a mandate.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So the government made it a mandate?
Yeah, because, you know, YouTube did, and so did all the social...
so you can't speak, you can't even speak on that in those platforms?
No, you can't say, you know...
That it wasn't?
You can't say that, like, you know,
the
there was election...
was rigged or...
Yeah,
right.
That's all a lie. The election was not rigged. 36 counties can give you 81 million votes.
Right.
That's a fact.
So it wasn't rigged?
Of course not.
Yeah.
36 counties have 81 million people in them.
Yeah.
See? That's the truth. And don't you dare say anything against it or you'll be off YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other ones because we have, you know, there's such a thing as the truth and facts and we have to stick to it. And, you know.
It's scary.
And that is the truth. And nobody died in the Holocaust either.
No.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
It should happen. 6 million Jews should die right now because they cause all the problems in the world, but it never happened. But it never happened.
Yeah.
Mandated.
Well, because you're part Jewish, right? Part of your family's Jewish?
I'm all Jewish.
You're all Jewish.
100%.
And a lot of Hollywood is Jewish, yeah? It's like a lot of Hollywood is a Jewish business, really. Well, they started Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right. But so was it weird
Just like rap. Black people started rap.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go over there and try to get in rap and go, all these black people, you know, go on Saturday Night Live like Dave Chappelle. I'm just saying a lot of black people are in control of rap.
Right.
Hello? Well, you went there. You try to get in show business. Of course it's Jewish.
Damn. I mean...
what's your thoughts?
All right. She's saying the things that people think on the outside voice. And I think people need to accept either that this is how things are perceived or that what's true, and to also be able to ascertain what is sarcasm. Because as I understand it, outside looking in, the media has gone on a full, this is their, fourth attempt? They have already successfully canceled this woman like thrice or 2 times that I can recall. They took her out of her own damn show. Okay, so they can't pick up on her being facetious, sarcastic, and they're going to go all in, and they already have begun. And they really think she's a Holocaust denier, which is hilarious.
We can have a conversation on her thinking the election was rigged, right? Like that's the to me, like her jokes corroborated that's how she felt about the election, and it wasn't the other way around.
Yes.
Like, she was like, no, that's 100% true, 100%. Just like nobody died in the Holocaust. Just like, 6 million Jews deserve to die, but they didn't, So like, it was just like that. If anything, that's what you could get caught up in. Oh my God, she believes the election was rigged. Maybe she doesn't believe there was improprieties. Maybe she doesn't believe that, people used the loopholes in a certain way to take advantage of it. But, technically it was legal. But no, she believes, as she said, the election was rigged because she used the Holocaust being fake as, more ammo to drive that facetious point home. Yeah, no, of course, 36 counties elected 81 million people. Of course. Like, so that's what they took from that, her being anti-Semitic. And not even they, like your Jewish League brethren, who is it? On Tuesday, wait, no. In a statement to the Post on Tuesday, Ronald Lauder, president of the World Jewish Congress, said Barr's comments were, quote, Nazism in the purest form. Put simply, Roseanne Barr's open and grotesque Holocaust denial is Nazism in its purest form and a singular embodiment of the alarming rise of Jew hatred in America that goes far beyond trafficking and conspiracy theories. Further, Mr. Vaughn's defense of Ms. Barr's hatefully ignorant comments as being satirical is equally offensive.
They're calling a spade. They're just being on it, like not the defamation league there. Theo Vaughn, as a comedian, was able to pick up on, as Shamrock mentions, absolutely there's going to be people that, number one, they're waiting for an excuse to be outraged. She just handed over a platter. And number two, there's, there just is what there is. They hear what they want to hear, and no matter what or who tells them otherwise, they're going to believe what they want to believe, which is that she was spewing nothing but vitriol and hate. You can't change their minds.
And we're going to open up some stuck in the middle group thoughts, because it says Barr is no stranger to controversy. In 2018, the revival of her show Roseanne was canceled by ABC after a racist tweet in which she compared former President Barack Obama's advisor Valerie Jarrett to the offspring of the Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes. Remember, that's the instance in which she kind of broke down and said, I thought the bitch was white. Like, remember she said that?
I remember.
Yeah. So, she said, yeah, there's some Planet of the Apes bitch, but in what she says, she's like, I literally thought she just looked funny. I thought she was white. So whether that's right or wrong, that's one of the things she was talking about. And then I guess apparently, check this shit out. How is this considered Nazism? BuzzFeed also reported that Barr once deleted a tweet that accused Parkland shooting survivor David Hogg of giving a Nazi salute. She later claimed that the image she had originally seen had been doctored and that he wasn't giving the Nazi salute. Why is she anti-Semitic? Because she got fooled by a meme on Twitter that she thought somebody else was being anti-Semitic. What the fuck is that?
When you're painted into a specific kind of corner and you fall into being one of those people, which is, I don't know, in this case, it's the people that people already want to fall under the alt-right guys or whatever. It gives them the boogeyman. They don't want to hear that she misunderstood. They don't want to hear what they consider to be excuses, which those excuses happen to explain the truth. They don't want to hear it. They want their boogeyman. They want to be angry, and they want something to yell at because they think it gives them attention and power.
And this proves your boogeyman theory, because this is, and mind you, the public Facebook, so this is anybody can go. This is not the private one. So
That's right.
One of the comments was already posted. This meme, this taking from Twitter, whatever. Oh my God, my insulting, bigoted comment was a joke. Clearly, you can't take a joke. Yes, joke reflects my actual beliefs. And yes, I was trying to affirm said beliefs and then try to make you look overly sensitive if you took issue with it. But it was a joke. Come on, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, look, 54 replies. Josh and I went back and forth with a couple of the people that I reference constantly here, which are the, oh, what's up? Keep the peels. Good to see you, brother. Which are people that constantly spew the same talking points. And I guarantee they did not watch the content. They just went on to the talking points. This is where all of that takes place.
Yeah. People saying the same thing, like, because I said stretch. And it was replied, it seems like anytime she needs exposure, she denies the Holocaust.
Oh my God.
Our good friend said they use it. It was a joke every time they say something racist, homophobic or bigoted.
And then at some point I point out, I'm of Jewish descent. I find it strange that you feel the need to be offended for me when I'm right here and saying how important levity is. And then he gave me the, well, as a black man in America speech, and then he took me out of the conversation. I can't speak at that point.
Yeah. Well, I just want to let you know that you were told that surprise Jewish people can be anti-Semitic, but we're also told that, people of color can't be racist. So
I love how that works.
It's a weird,
Oh, there's nothing weird about it. This is also science, Josh.
Yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad.
It's in the DVSM, okay, right next to every rushed vaccines works as predicted. All there. Okay, no sarcasm in this voice, by the way. All right, just like that gay man spontaneously combusted because some pregnant woman was clearly jealous of his amazing fishnets and snake bites.
Hang on a second. I got to see, because everyone keeps saying Roseanne 2009 Holocaust, because she keeps going to Holocaust jokes, but I've never, this is the first time I've seen her do a Holocaust joke, but our friend Emmett said 2009.
She did one thing where she made
in High School Musical. She dressed up as like young Hitler or something, or
she baked cookies that looked like Hitler, and she had some sort of garb on, but it was just overreactionism at its finest.
And she's fucking Jew. Look, 2009 Jay Weekly, Roseanne, Holocaust denier.
No.
Everyone is trying to be outraged for everyone else. That's what doesn't make sense.
That is the perfect statement for the current time that we find ourselves in. And I cannot relinquish the point further. I am envious of those of you out there that have such optimism in this next election cycle. I'm not there, but I want to be, and I'm going to be as involved as possible. Josh and I will be there with our commentary, with our insight. Please follow us to the world of Rumble, where we're sick and tired of watching our P's and Q's and walking on eggshells. We were not made for that. I hate the word agenda. That's not how we roll. This is a natural step in the evolution of Stuck in the Middle, Stuck at Night, Progressive Patriot. Everything that we do will be on Rumble. I'll still pop in and out of here, but please subscribe and follow us on Rumble.
Well, they have been. They brought us up to 10 followers. We started off at 5. So I believe, we could at least attempt to go live streaming next week, which would be pretty cool on Rumble.
Thank you for taking action. We really thank you so much.
Yeah, that is very cool. There's a few, listen, there's a few weird stories to play. There's a few videos to play. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? I'm kind of running out of steam a little bit. I'm glad we went a little about. This is kind of where I wanted to go, a little over 2 hours. I love hitting kind of like the 2.5 hour mark as opposed to just cutting off at 2 hours. But yeah, your call.
I'm comfortable to end on this note. My phone's gonna die. I can't see the comments, but and unfortunately I can't give shout outs, but you know who you are, and I rewatch everything. I want to thank each and every one of you for giving us the time of day, for hearing our voices, and don't forget, most of all, we respect your ability to share your independent thinking with us.
Hang on.
We want support.
Hang on.
What happened in the corner?
No, my computer. Hang on. There we go.
Oh, well.
Now,
Anyway.
media player updated. So hang on. Ready? Here we go. Now. Nope, still not working.
That's
oh
okay.
my God. There we go. There's the outro. I mean, listen, we got to play the outro music. We didn't really play any public freak out videos to get the freak out of here, but I think that's okay. It's kind of late.
We're coming back at you. Worry you not. And please be on the lookout for any community posts that are coming post haste.
I'm going after this. You can join me if you want to or not. I'm going to attempt to see if the live stream on Rumble can happen, just as a little testicles to see if it works. That way we can kind of promote that next week and kind of, leave YouTube in the dust. You know what I'm saying, big dog?
I look forward to that day, big dog. Yeah.
I got Duke coming over tomorrow night. We might do a podcast. He's not getting in till about 11. So it's going to be probably like the Stuck at Night Thanksgiving episode that I did with him back in Thanksgiving about a year ago. Or
is he willing to join both of us, or is that?
If you're willing to be awake, because it's going to be like 11:30, 12 a.m. It's going to be late. He's not getting in till 11 p.m. Last time we went on pretty much at 11:45, 12 a.m. But it's worth it. It's fun.
I'm receptive because those of you that are still watching, Duke is a special butterfly, and he's one of the folks that perhaps we naysay in jest while we do love him, but we want everybody represented. We want anybody to feel that they can come up here and speak, and I extend that invitation to Duke, and I would love to be able to have a fun row and disagreement with him.
And Duke has a hilarious story about shitting his pants, so it's fucking...
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay.
I hope we did all right. I hope everyone who took their time to tune in to us was like, okay, you guys are a little rusty, but I enjoyed it. So I hope we did all right. Hope you enjoyed it. Eli, I enjoyed it myself. This is really what, as long as we get it in motion again, I think we can get the dust off. But again, it's that consistency thing. So
we're gonna
that
get
said,
the gears turning again.
With that said, my brother, I will see you on the next one. And if you want to join me to see if the Rumble works, we'll see you guys in just a few moments over on Rumble.
I'll check you in the morning. Good night, bro.
Later.
All right.